You were not lazy, you were emotionally overloaded for years. People may have called you lazy, careless, or unmotivated. But what if the truth was something much deeper? What if you were never lazy at all? What if you were just carrying too much pain, too much pressure, and too many emotions no one could see? Because that is what happens to a lot of people who struggle silently. On the outside, they look fine. On the inside, they are exhausted. They wake up tired. They delay simple tasks. They overthink small things. They feel guilty for resting. And then they start believing the worst thing possible: something is wrong with me. But often, nothing is wrong with you. You may simply be emotionally overloaded. When your mind is carrying stress, fear, self-doubt, family pressure, old hurt, and constant comparison, even basic work starts to feel heavy. It is not that you do not care. It is that your system is already full. Imagine trying to add more water to a glass that is already overflowing. That is what life feels like for many people who are secretly drowning in emotions. And because no one can see the weight, they judge the results. They see unfinished work, missed chances, slow replies, and low energy. They do not see the anxiety behind it. They do not see the childhood pressure. They do not see the silent battles happening in your head every day. So you begin to blame yourself. You say, I am wasting my life. You say, why can everyone else do it except me? You say, I must be weak. But listen carefully. A person who is emotionally overloaded does not need more shame. They need relief. And that is the part most people never understand. Sometimes your tiredness is not physical. It is emotional tiredness. Sometimes your procrastination is not laziness. It is overwhelm. Sometimes your silence is not emptiness. It is survival. Pause for a second and think about this. How many times have you forced yourself to keep going while secretly feeling broken inside? How many times have you smiled in front of people while your chest felt heavy? How many times have you tried to be productive when your mind was already full of unresolved pain? That kind of inner load changes everything. It slows you down. It makes decisions harder. It makes simple tasks feel huge. It drains your motivation before you even begin. And the cruelest part is that the world really notices. It only sees what you failed to do. It rarely sees what you were carrying. That is why so many sensitive, thoughtful people end up feeling like failures. Not because they are incapable, but because they are fighting invisible battles with no recovery time. And maybe that is why this message matters. Because once you understand the difference between laziness and emotional overload, you stop attacking yourself for being human. You start asking better questions. Not, what is wrong with me, but, what have I been carrying for too long? Not, why can't I do this? But, what is draining me before I even begin? Because healing does not start with discipline. It starts with honesty. The honest truth is this: some of your lack of energy is not failure. Some of your delay is not weakness. Some of your struggle is not character. It is pain that never got dealt with. And pain can look like laziness from the outside. But inside, it feels like exhaustion. So if this video feels personal, remember this. You may not need to push harder. You may need to lighten the load. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stop calling yourself lazy long enough to finally understand what is really hurting you. That is where your comeback begins. Pro free preview of advanced search enabled.